Welcome back to Jeff Koinange, live at the Intercontinental. Dr. Chris Kirubi, sir, in the house, here alongside the ambassador herself, the woman with the headgear. In fact, there's a tweet about headgear right here. Let me just read it, Orie, if you will. Anglo-Saxon says, is Rogo having a stiff neck, or is she struggling to balance her headgear?
No problem.
Gabriel Jonjo says, Kirubi is an employer who has to fight for lower wage returns. Chris, what do you tell Jonjo?
I think he's very wrong. I just offered my staff, a very small group, $1 billion shillings bonus. They deserved it, yes.
$1 billion?
Yes.
$1 billion shillings?
Yes, he did.
Every workers in that company, they are all millionaires overnight. And why? They performed. They gave us profits 1 year equivalent to 5 years last year's profit. So they deserved it.
And you gave this to them, why?
Because they earned it. Jeff, if you worked for me, you would have been a millionaire today.
Where can I apply?
Through me. Via me.
Speaking of you, Michael Opondo says, Orie Rogo Manduli is one of the best guests you've had in a while. She not only speaks the truth, but appears to have more common sense than other commentators on this particular teacher issue. But you still disagree, you still insist.
I want to tell the teachers one thing. I was born in it, in the profession. But right now they're the best officials. I love their Secretary General. I just love their chair. Those are people who take a stand and stand there. Not like the type who used to go to State House and come out with briefcases, dancing, giving nothing to the teachers but themselves. Now the teachers, you have the right people. The chairman.
So Sosion is a decent fellow?
Oh, absolutely fantastic. Sosion, kudos. Chair Muzo, is his name? Kudos. Hang in there. You have me also to join you. You are getting your money. The teachers have money before they go back. I know this government. They never see a penny.
But Chris,
I know her. It'll be swept under the carpet.
Yeah, but Chris, the latest ruling, why not just now go to back to the drawing table and let the kids at least finish this term till December, the next 90 days, if you will? Why not allow that?
You know, I personally never said 1 minute that teachers do not deserve salary increments.
That's what I like to
They
hear.
deserve. But in pursuit of their increases, they should not cause permanent damage to kids who have paid their school fees, and to them they have a contract with the teaching to give them some lessons, and while and chase and make sure they get the reward they deserve. And I believe if the government can afford, we must give them a reward.
Oh yeah. And now the opposition wants to take it a next step and impeach the president for what they call disobeying a court order.
Disobeying a court order, yes, which has been disobeyed. I think that at the point when we were having new leadership, if that court order had been disobeyed, there would have been war in this country. And it was just about two people, the president and the vice president. There would have been war here if that court order was not adhered to. We are talking of hundreds of thousands of teachers. The court order is not obeyed, and we're supposed just to sweep it. If I were them, I won't even allow any more court issues till that court order is obeyed, and then I don't even. They're so nice. I think if I was the official, one of the officials, they'll be not going back to court till that court order is adhered to.
By the way, my sister, this matter is still in court, so we cannot discuss it because it is sub judice. we cannot discuss it.
Okay.
That detail.
What about
we
the
really should
impeachment?
not.
Impeachment, Chris. Is that fair?
Impeachment is different. Impeachment is not in court.
I know.
Impeachment is
But
in
is it-
Parliament. It hasn't even come to
Right.
Parliament.
But they're considering it.
I personally think cross the river when we get there. Let it come. Those who bring it, let them know how they are going to make it work. But you know, we are democracy, and democracy, it is the worst form of government, but we have no alternative.
I think that was Winston Churchill.
I think it just shows we have grown. We have grown. There's nothing wrong with that impeachment. Those, as Chris says, those who are gonna bring it, let them work their way and see it through. And those who don't want it, let them also work their way and see that it doesn't go through. But there's nothing evil about it. There's nothing wrong with that impeachment. There's nothing wrong with the notion. It is a democracy. If a group of people or some section of Kenyan feel the president has not done the right thing, if, for example, where Chris is, the shareholders feel he's running a public institution, the shareholders feel he's not doing a right job, you can do a hostile takeover. It's done all the time in the use. Hostile takeover. So it's the same thing. It's the position. And who better to do it than the opposition? You can do it, Jeff. You are not in politics. He can do it. He's in business. I can do it. I'm a farmer. The people who are doing it are the right people. And if they can push it through, fair and good. It is a democracy. We are growing, and there's nothing evil about it. And those who want to make it look like it's being done, you know, the president is being told, hey, you are able to do a good job. Do it. He's not done a good job as far as I'm. You know, I gave him a lot of time last time I was on this show. But on the teachers, he's let me down. And I hope he comes back from New York, where he is now. He's in New York, isn't he? He comes back and does. In fact, I did expect him to go to New York. He did mess. If I were him, I wouldn't move.
You know, you are a daughter of a teacher, and your mother is a teachers. So we don't expect anything else except what you're saying, and I respect your feelings, your opinion, but I personally come from the side of the kids who are suffering. These kids do not deserve to suffer at all.
Sir Chris, I am the mother of those kids who are suffering.
Exactly.
You never even held a baby in your belly for 9 months. I am the mother.
Yes.
And I love them. You know I love kids.
Yeah.
I love kids. I feel so bad. But those kids also, these parents, these teachers also have kids, and they have to earn enough to give their kids a decent life.
But these kids are being sacrificed now, Orie.
Yeah,
They're
right
being
now.
sacrificed.
Who's sacrificing them? The person who's not getting out the salary is the one that give them the money, they'll be back. Give them the money tonight, they'll be back in classrooms tomorrow. But I'm telling you, teachers, don't go back. If you go back and you don't get the money, don't come back to me.
Oh my word. Oh my.
But in the meantime, kids in private schools carry on. Are learning. And they're gonna be the smart ones, and these other ones will be the idiots.
I know. I know it's painful, which is why somebody had better. Chris, couldn't you come up? I know you are. Chris, the other day I wished I was you, because if I were you, I'd have put forward maybe 10 billion and say, government add some, let's give it, because you can afford it.
I'm trying to save Kenya Airways.
I know, which is normal. Right. But don't you want to save the children?
I love to save the children, and that's why I'm here tonight with you.
10 million.
Trying to put common sense to Kenyans that let's not punish the young kids. Let's continue negotiating for salaries, but let us reduce the impact of the future of these children.
If you could give 1 billion to just a few people,
yes.
Don't you think you should add a few more billions and then put it in the basket of teachers, and then all right thinking people would also help.
And we'll always remember
I'd bring my bags of maize and put on top.
I have seen ODM put some 100,000 shillings somewhere that cannot even buy teachers tea during their conference.
It was a token.
It was a token.
It was a start.
It is a start.
And that's why you can now put your 10 billion. You can now put it on.
Well, we need a counting system that can say, and the money you put into that kitty is accounted for and goes where it is intended.
I'm sure it will be accounted for. I don't think anybody who starts anything like that will be stupid enough not to put in the checks and balances. It will be accounted. That's not the worry. The worry is, can we? Why should they even be opening accounts? We have a government that can sit down and say, here, let's stop doing this, let's stop doing that, let's put this together. When Ababu Namwamba came up in Parliament with a bill that the salaries of the legislators should be slashed, you saw Muturi. You saw the speaker.
Yep.
He's supposed not to decide whether that will. He's supposed to allow it to be on the ground. But he already made decisions about it. Throwing,
putting a brake on.
Yeah, putting a brake. I mean, can somebody please show Muturi how to be a speaker? Why is this fellow in power and lighting? Why can't he come back and just sit with Muturi for 2 weeks? Because the guy has no idea what to do.
You talk about Marende.
Marende should stop doing power just for 2 weeks.
Yes.
He has to be impartial. Muturi must be he can't decide. I mean, if I was Ababu or anybody else who brings a bill and he throws bricks at it, I just stand up and give him a roughing up.
Oh my word, oh my, oh
I mean, he has no business. That's not his work.
Right.
To block it. It's his work to see that it is present.
Yes.
Then if he opposes it, he has also his vote.
Right.
But he doesn't decide for people before even. I feel something is not, and I hope that when the president comes down from New York, after meeting all those world bodies and all those world people and sort of, Hapa nyumbani, home is where we need him now. Let him come. He's a good guy. Let him. If Chris himself, he's not a poor man himself, the president is not poor. Yeah? And a few rich people like you, Jeff.
What?
He comes from a very prominent family.
No, that 17 billion was not a part of it, okay?
He comes from a very prominent family.
Yes.
And the other day they gave all the land men. They gave it the sons. I didn't hear daughters coming in anyway.
Did you see my name there?
But you're one of the sons.
Did you see my name there?
He was one of the Koinanges.
He's one of.
Don't worry.
Maybe your auntie or your mom will. Somebody is going to, and through them you'll. But Jeff, you come from a prominent family. Can you talk to them? I know Chris is benevolent, and I know that there are a lot of other benevolent people in this country. That money can be put together, at least for the first year, so that next year then maybe it can be included in the budget. But for this year, let's do something.
Chris,
can't just keep quiet.
Okay, the president is on his way back from New York. What should he do? Should he sit down with Socion? Should he sit down with these folks?
You know, he is the president of all Kenyans. Those who are striking, those who are not striking, and striking, labor agitation is allowed in our constitution. So in effect they are doing what they should be doing for their members.
So I think they'll temper. You remember, Chris, that they used to have sort of poor regions, poor areas being sort of poor or remote areas being given a lower mark for university entry or high school entry. I'm sure that the markers, and that's what should be done, those who are marking the exams this year should take note and take cognizance of the fact that these kids didn't finish the syllabus.
Oh, please.
Well,
now you want to lower the bar.
Now
you want to lower the bar.
I'm not lowering the bar. I'm just saying it has to be considered that those in public schools didn't finish the syllabus.
They didn't finish because the teachers were on strike.
Yeah, and the teachers are on strike because they have nothing to eat. Who goes to work on an empty stomach?
What was that Whitney Houston said? I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead their way. She didn't say let them teach a strike.
Who sang that? Who sang that?
Whitney Houston, the late great.
Whitney comes from a country where teachers are well looked after. She didn't know we have teachers here who earn less less than my house girl.
Let's take a
Oh my
break.
word.
Come, less than, how much do you pay your house girl?
Oh, certainly over 16,000. Certainly.
But
Chris, how much do you pay your house people? The lowest paid.
they are not public servants. Their salaries are not in public domain.
What does that mean?
Yes,
What does that even mean?
Jen, something is eating me.
Okay, we'll take a break. We're coming back, and whatever's eating you, you let it out. Wow!
Whew.
Where's my fire extinguisher, Chris? Where is it? At Chris Kirubi, at Orie Rogo, at Koinange Jeff, the hashtag way forward. And we are trying to find a way forward in this teachers strike mess. Now into week 5 with no light in sight. Goodness gracious
The light will
me.
come when the money is paid.
Oh, show me the money. Is that it? JKL takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.